This is the Rangers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Texas Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, on a miserable night in New York, another miserable loss for the Rangers, who blow a 3-1 lead and suffer a walk-off loss to the Yankees. Third loss in a row for the Rangers. They fall in the Bronx tonight by the final of 4-3. Here we go. Welcome into the Rangers POSTCAST, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed. That's where you'll find the great work of Bryce Paterick. Every single day, Bryce did a really good job talking about what's going on with the Rangers right now. Also, a really thorough breakdown of the umpiring in Major League Baseball and just the bad calls, the bad series that the Rangers have faced of late, and just the issues with kind of where this new strike zone is in MLB. But tonight, can't blame the umpires on this one. The Rangers had a 3-1 lead in the 8th inning. They gave it away and fell to the Yankees 4-3.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, lots to get to in this one. Just a little kind of behind the curtain thing for you guys that are with me every night. So, we, all of us who do these, we put together the graphics and the pictures and everything. And so there wasn't the photos from late in the game were not available yet. So I had to grab something to be ready. But just to let you know, I had to put up a picture that was kind of a fit because I didn't want to wait around another 10 minutes for a picture to be downloaded. But my original headline was going to say either Burger King or Burger King of New York, with a great picture of Jake Burger, because that should have been the story. I mean, the 2 home runs for Jake Burger, one to left, one to right, and another dominant start for Jacob deGrom back in New York. I mean, that was the story. That was the script, right? But it didn't work out that way. And to the Yankees' credit, the Yankees clearly have shown in these first 2 games, even though we're just about at the end of May, clearly they have shown that they're at one level and the Rangers are at a different level. And, we talked about the offense, a career high, 14 strikeouts, or not a career high, I'm sorry, season high, 14 strikeouts last night for the Rangers. Not quite that many tonight, but this time they get some run support. They get the home runs. They get one from Haggerty, and instead they end up losing by the final of 4-3. The turning point in this one, pretty obvious.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
All right, well, it's a 3-1 game in this one late. 3-1, bottom of the 7th, I should say, 3-1 going into the 7th. Bottom of the 7th, Cody Bellinger hits the solo home run. It's 3-2, going into the 8th. And then in the bottom of the 8th, now here's where, and you guys can disagree with me on this or not, but so Robert Garcia comes in, and I'm thinking, okay, great. This is the guy that I want. Hopefully Robert can bounce back after a tough outing on Sunday against the Astros. Comes in, right? LeMahieu strikes out. he kind of pitches around Paul Goldschmidt, and here's the thing about it's like I don't like going back and forth, right? It's like he was pitching around Goldschmidt, and I get that, but the problem is when you kind of pitch around guys, it can really take you out of your rhythm, and it sometimes it takes a little bit to get it back, and you don't have that kind of time when you're late in the game. So Goldschmidt walks, Grisham walks, and Rice flies out to center, and then you heard on the TV broadcast, the thought was, well, there's no way Bruce Bochy is going to let Garcia pitch to Judge. Okay, I get that, but why not? My thought was, you don't want to give him anything to hit anyway. Why don't you pitch around him or walk him, load the bases, and let Garcia pitch to Bellinger, lefty, right? I mean, the Aaron Judge of this year is not the Aaron Judge feast or famine, strike out every other at bat Aaron Judge from the last, from a few years ago. I mean, he is hitting the ball well right now, like really well, not just home runs. And so, sure enough, Luke Jackson comes in and gives up the base hit, and they're not able to get the throw to the plate, and that tied the game. And then, Luke Jackson coming out of the ninth. I said this before. I don't. Nothing against Luke personally. I just don't feel like he's just a solid closer. I just don't. I don't feel confident when he goes in, and I've said that really from day one. And I know this is only one game, but I mean, just I don't think Dominguez could have hit that ball any harder if I threw it to him. I mean, he crushed that ball. I mean, crushed it. And so now it's just a double negative, and you got some bullpen concerns now all of a sudden. Chris Martin's on the IL. And, I said this again last night. I mean, you can't keep wasting these starts from your rotation. You just can't do it. And, man, you're the Rangers offense. You get the home runs. You get a 3-1 lead, 3-2 lead. Got to win that game. You got to win that game. And so, I mean, they've got some really, they've got some decisions to make for sure. If you're Chris Young in the front office, I just that was just my initial thought. I just don't. I don't. For to have Jackson the way that he is throwing pitch to Aaron Judge, I just don't. I mean, look at what happened to him with Dominguez. So I just don't. I don't. Either you're going to pitch around or you're going to go after him. But trying to go back and forth and play these games, why? I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. And we're live here. The game just ended, but that's just kind of my initial takeaway. Really, really tough. Like I said, deGrom was dominant. Berger did his part, and now they've lost 3 in a row. So, all right, quick timeout. When we come back, want to hear from you via the comment crew. This is the Rangers POSTCAST. All right, well, if you are like me, I'm sure you have checked your bank account and wondered, hey, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's so easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, your investments, and spending in one place. So you just stop managing your money and start building wealth. You realize what you're spending your money on, and you can budget smarter and save more. And, if you're managing your money with a partner, it's smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts. You can set goals and stay on the same page. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. All right, welcome back to the Rangers postcast. The Rangers fall in New York again to the Yankees by the final of 4-3. A lot of you have jumped in, so want to get your comments right now. Let's start things off with El Kwe Fool. We're just bad, flat out bad. Time to punt and rebuild for the young guys. Prime, trading for a bat or two can't fix us. We're beyond fixing. Geo777 says Rangers still can't hit with runners in scoring position. Yeah, they had the bases loaded again tonight. Couldn't get it done. Christopher Burnett, why did Bochy pick Luke Jackson to be the closer? I never understood that. John Crabtree says, I'm a Rangers fan, but this team is not that good. They can't hit for add an S to it. Noah Day says, Rangers are still missing too many opportunities with runners in scoring positions. They have to get that figured out. That should be a top priority, in my opinion. Yeah, no doubt. Ricky Gonzalez says, Bryce Patrick always says, don't forget to enjoy baseball. But that's difficult right now because even though deGrom is on the mound, the other team has, tonight they made Ryan Yarbrough. We'd like to congratulate Ryan Yarbrough, who has just been added to the American League Cy Young race with his performance tonight. Ryan Yarbrough, journeyman. Soft tossing lefty, 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts for Ryan Yarbrough. Unbelievable. Geo77 says Rangers still got hits, but not when the runners are in scoring position. Yep, well said. Noah Day says the Rangers double the amount of hits that the Yankees had, so hitting is not necessarily the issue. It's timely hitting, or, as I like to say, clutch hitting. Christopher Burnett says, easy stretch of schedule coming up. Let's just stack wins. Okay, hope you're right there. Texas Hobby Bin says, this was a tough one. Yeah, no doubt. Chris says, it's not just a good time to be a Dallas Teams fan yet again. Noah Day says, Jeff, what are your thoughts on Josh Young cutting off Langford's throw to home? Noah, I'm not avoiding your question. I mean this sincerely. Hard to tell from TV. I mean, if you're Josh and you're right there, you can tell. You know by doing it every day. You know what kind of juice a ball has on it, and you know if it's going to be hard enough to really get there on time, like a quick one bounce strike to make a play, or if it's going to end up fizzling out and kind of roll its way. I know he'll be asked about it in the clubhouse here right now. It's hard, honestly. Again, I'm not avoiding your question, but I think, to me anyway, more importantly, I just did not get Luke Jackson pitching to judge the way that he did, and kind of challenging him the way that he did. I mean, this guy is one of the hottest hitters in baseball, and I don't mean just home runs. I mean, he he's become a better all-around complete hitter. Seriously. And so I just don't I just don't get it. Swolger X says it hurts that we are wasting the best starting pitching we have ever had. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. I mean, they've got to do something here at some point. Again, you can't panic. You don't want to be desperate. You don't want to make a trade that's going to actually make your team worse. But I know that the radars, the feelers, whatever you want to call it, they're out there, and it'll happen. We just don't know when. And finally, El Quay Fool says only the Rangers could take a deGrom start and make a multi-home run game from Berger and still disappoint. Yep. Well said. Disappoint the entire fan base. Yep. Tevin says we trash, accept it. I'm not mad at Bochy. Our bullpen is terrible. Who could he trust? Thoughts to what Tevin said. John Kerman says Yankees haven't had a walk-off home run since 2022, by the way, and that was the first since. All right. Did not know that. Thank you, John. Jonah has compressed nerve in his right hand. Yeah, so I don't know anything about how that works. If you have a compressed nerve, how long you're out. Noah Day says, I agree with your take on Jackson pitching to Judge. He should have avoided him way more than that. And Geo777 says Rangers are not good in tie games late. Rangers still can't make it to extra innings this year. Yeah, so hopefully with Jonah, I don't know if it's a long, how that injury works. I've never really, I've never heard of that before. I've heard of nerve issues, but not a compressed nerve for a catcher. And then one other thing from tonight, two things. In the top of the second, that triple for Anthony Volpe, I'm not trying to be mean-spirited to Sam Haggerty, but a championship caliber center fielder has to make that catch. I'm sorry. Evan Carter would have made that catch. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to pick on the kid. But that's you can't have that. You got to make those, especially when you have a guy like deGrom on the mound. That ball should have been caught. Sorry. I'm glad that Haggerty made up for it with a home run. But and then the other bad nugget tonight for the Rangers. Tonight was game number 50 for the Rangers, who are now 25-25. 22 of their 50 games this season, the Rangers have scored 2 runs or less. That is just, it's not going to do it. They've got to do it. I still think, we'll see. I don't know if what we saw from Sean Armstrong when he blew the game against the Astros, if that was just because he had pitched in so many games, like if you have him regular, I don't know. But if that's the case, does that mean he can't close at all? I still am a big fan of Robert Garcia. Don't know what, like I said, I would have liked to see him go after Cody Bellinger tonight, but anyway, is what it is. All right. Hey, love you guys for all your comments. Really appreciate it. Tough one tonight. The good news is they'll try to get it, get after it tomorrow. And hopefully you'll be able to be with me tomorrow if you can. And hopefully the Rangers can escape New York with a big win before heading to Chicago. All right, that's going to do it, though. Thank you guys for getting in tonight. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all your thoughts and your support and your input. You guys make the show. Appreciate it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Final score tonight: the Rangers fall to the Yankees 4-3. This has been the Rangers Postcast.